His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of the Government of Kenya, Honorable Dr. Vivek Joshi, Secretary, Department of Financial Services of the Government of Kenya, my distinguished fellow colleague, High Commissioner from Malawi, Dr. Harsha Bangari, the Managing Director of Exim Bank, dignitaries, distinguished guests, and friends from the media, good morning, namaskar, and jambo. I want to begin by extending my heartiest congratulations to Exim Bank on the inauguration of their East Africa branch here in beautiful Nairobi. Now, this wouldn't really have been possible without the unreserved support and cooperation from the Kenyan Foreign Ministry, the Treasury Office, and other agencies of the Government of Kenya. So I want to join Exim Bank in extending my heartfelt thanks to the Government of Kenya for their support and for their facilitation in hosting the Exim Bank office here in Nairobi. This is one of the outcomes of the visit of President William Ruto to India last December, and we're really honored to have the Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary here with us at the culmination of the process to inaugurate the offices in Nairobi today. I would like to particularly place on record our sincere gratitude to the Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary for his guidance and his unhesitating support in getting the Exim Bank office in Kenya up and running. The High Commission also really appreciates the presence of Honorable Dr. Vivek Joshi, Secretary, Department of Financial Services, the senior-most official in the Government of India, controlling the functioning of all banks, insurance, pension, and other financial institutions within India. And I'm sure that his presence here in Kenya and Nairobi today will be an encouragement for Exim Bank as it moves forward with its operations in Africa. Distinguished guests, I would like to tell our friends in Kenya that the setting up of the Exim Bank in Kenya is an endorsement of the importance of Kenya as a regional gateway, as an economic hub for this part of the world. And the Indian Exim Bank has reached the same conclusion as many other global institutions, corporations, and banks that an Africa strategy requires a presence in Kenya. We in India believe in the future of Kenya and the vision that has been laid out by President William Ruto and his government. We're also equally enthused about the future of India's own economic and trade partnership with Kenya. As such, we are linking our future with your future, and we are committed to expanding engagement between governments, between businesses, and between our people. The inauguration of the India Exim Bank office today will help us to reach and to strive for the shared goal of enhancing trade and investment traffic between India and Kenya and between India and East Africa. And the presence of the Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary will be a motivation in that direction for the Exim Bank office here. I have a lot of hope from the Exim Bank's presence here in addition to the other Indian banks that are already present in the geography, and I only see very bright prospects for what we can do together on the trade and economic side between our two countries, underlined by the strong political will that is on display between both countries. I want to conclude by wishing Exim Bank all the best as they embark on this new chapter in magical Kenya and assure them of the High Commission's support in their endeavors. Thank you so much. Asante.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May I now request our guest of honor, Dr. Vivek Joshi, Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, to please deliver the special address. Please, sir.
His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary and Minister of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Government of Kenya, Madam Namgya Kampa, HCI, Madam Harsha Bangari, CMD Exim Bank, Mr. Rajnish Karnatak, MD Bank of India, my colleagues from Ministry, colleagues from Exim Bank, honorable guests. At the outset, I take this opportunity to congratulate Madam Bangari for opening this East Africa Representative Office in Nairobi, Kenya. As already mentioned, the East African countries, which include republics of Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, the United Republic of Tanzania, and the Republic of Uganda. I am sure that this new office by India's Exim Bank will augment India's relationship with these economies while taking it to greater heights in terms of new businesses, greater opportunities, while building relationships. As many of us who are present here know, that India runs a positive trade balance with East Africa, with the trade surplus recorded at 5.8 billion in 2022. India-East Africa merchandise trade have shown significant growth in the last decade. India's exports to East Africa, which were 8.6 billion in 2013, increased to around 9.4 billion US dollar in 2022. India's imports from East Africa were a meager $1 billion in 2013. Since then, the imports have registered consistent growth and mercantile imports peaked at 3.5 billion in 2022. Tanzania, which has a share of 43.6%, was the highest market for India's exports in the region in 2023. This was followed by Kenya, which has a share of 31.4%. India's imports from East Africa in 2022 stood at 3.5 billion. Tanzania, with the share of 80%, was the largest source of import for India among the East African countries. India's major export items to the East Africa in 2022 were mineral oil, fuel and oils, with a share of 33.7% in total exports to the region. Other major export categories for India were pharmaceutical products, vehicles other than railways or tramways, machinery and mechanical appliances, sugar and sugar confectionery, and cereals. In 2022, copper and articles accounted for 40% of India's total imports from this region. Other major imported products in the same year were pearls, precious stones and metals, edible fruits and nuts, edible vegetables, coffee, tea, spices, coca and coca preparations, etc. As we know, India and Kenya has a long-standing relationships in terms of business and people-to-people contact. There exist opportunities to enhance India-Kenya trade relationship as it experienced a downward trend. India's exports to Kenya, which were 3.9 billion in 2013, fell to 2.9 billion in 2022. India's imports from Kenya, which were 121 million in 2013, increased marginally to 122 million in 2022. Major items of India's exports to Kenya included mineral fuels, oils and products, pharmaceutical products, mechanical and machinery and appliances, iron and steel, and vehicles, among others. Major items which India imported from Kenya included coffee, tea, meat and spices, inorganic chemicals, copper and articles, edible vegetables, and wood and articles of wood, wood charcoal, among others. I am sure that these figures exhibit the huge opportunity that is remaining to be exploited through an India and East Africa trade and investment in general and with Kenya in particular. I am sure with the opening of the East African Representative Office, there will be an increased trade activities. As I conclude, I would like to congratulate Exim Bank once again in their new endeavor, and I wish you all the success. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our esteemed guest, His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, to please deliver the keynote address. Please, sir.
Thank you. Please be seated. Dr. Vivek Joshi, Secretary, Department of Financial Services of the Government of India. Your Excellency, Madam Nagya Kampa, India's High Commissioner to Kenya. Madam Harsha Bangari, Managing Director of India Exim Bank. May I also recognize with us, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I am delighted to join you for this momentous occasion, marking the inauguration of Export-Import Exim Bank of India's East Africa Representative Office. This follows the approval by the Government of Kenya in November 2023 of Exim Bank's request to open a representative office in Nairobi. On behalf of the government and the people of Kenya, let me appreciate you for choosing Nairobi as the preferred location of your regional office. It affirms your confidence in our position as the leading financial hub. We assure you of a competitive business environment to support the growth of your business in Kenya and the Eastern Africa community. The entry of Exim Bank will promote trade and investment between Kenya and India. As a fully owned Government of India financial institution, the bank will also help deepen the partnership that the two countries have developed over the past 6 decades. I am pleased to note that Exim Bank is already providing concessional lines of credit to Kenya's enterprises in priority sectors including energy, textiles and apparel, and agriculture. Through your representative office, you have a great opportunity to support other priority sectors including healthcare and technology. Your experiences from the Indian market will be beneficial to our business community, particularly the small and medium enterprises who are interested in the diversity, quality, and range of financial products that we'll offer to meet their financial needs. It is our expectation that besides providing finance, Exim Bank will create quality jobs and facilitate transfer of skills to our young graduates who are looking for challenging opportunities. In the long run, we are looking for deeper collaboration between the government and the bank in support for national development priorities anchored on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. You also are well positioned to play a significant role as a key partner in the development of Africa's trade and investment opportunities under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Very briefly, before I conclude my remarks, let me take this opportunity to once again extend our appreciation to the government of India, because I recall with a lot of nostalgia that you accorded President Ruto an excellent and memorable state visit to India a few months ago. And during this occasion, amongst many other things, the India Exim Bank confirmed through the Prime Minister, Modi, that they were going to expand the credit facility to $250 million as an immediate facility available to Kenyans and Kenyan enterprises. So we take that very, very positively. And we look forward to its drawdown so that the board members at the headquarters will realize that they have to expand this beyond the 250 million USD. I also want to take this opportunity to say that Kenya is the financial hub in every sense of the word in this region. Out of the banks that we have in the East African countries, all the way to DRC, to South Sudan, Kenyan financial institutions have a population of 552 branches in the entire region. So basically, the financial infrastructure in the entire East African region is on the shoulders of Kenya. And your entry just consolidates that position and gives us an opportunity to work together to continue providing financial services in the region. Finally, we wish to congratulate India, the largest democracy. You've just gone through a process where almost 1 billion individuals have voted. That's amazing. We'll always continue wondering how it will happen, or how did it happen. It has gone well. The government has moved on. The people of India are doing their business, and democracy has taken an even firmer foothold. So we want to congratulate you for this very, very successive process. And in the same vein, this morning, while watching the news, India now is poised to become the 4th largest economy in the world. So that speaks volumes to the management of the affairs of India, and indeed the kind of business environment that has been created to allow that economy to thrive to the extent that it is now the 4th largest economy globally. And very soon it might take the 3rd position, and heaven knows what else will come after that. But we wish you the very best in this endeavor. So it is now my singular pleasure and privilege to declare the India Exim East Africa Representative Office officially open. Thank you so much.
Good morning. We would like to extend our sincere thanks and gratitude His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary from our Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Government of Kenya, Dr. Vivek Joshi, Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, His Excellency Madam Namia Khampa, High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Dr. Bhushan Kumar Sinha, Joint Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Government of India, MD, Bank of India, Mr. Rajneesh Karnatak, Chief General Manager, Bank of Baroda, and over guests who have come to bless us on the inauguration ceremony of Exim Bank of India. Again, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Government of Kenya, to all our partners for supporting us for opening of our office here, and we look forward to strengthening and doing good business here in Kenya with the companies in Kenya, institutions in Kenya, banks in Kenya, as well as our partners in the Central and East Africa region. With this, we would like to again extend sincere thanks to everyone. Asante Nisana. Thank you.
May I now request our guests, His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Dr. Vivek Joshi, Her Excellency Ms. Bhushan Kumar Sinha, and our Managing Director to come on the dais for the group photo. Photograph. Thank you. May I now request my colleagues to please escort His Excellency Dr. Musalia, Dr. Vivek Joshi, Her Excellency Ms. Namia Khampa, Dr. Bhushan Kumar Sinha, and Mr. Rajneesh Karnatak to the first. Meanwhile, I request all of guests to please stand to the height.
Three are there, na? Or that okay?
Correct.
You have some Just say excuse me, and I'll get the stick. Start pushing around.
कोई नहीं है सर अभी सब आ गए वो ऊपर आने की तैयारी में कोई नहीं सर हाँ ठीक है सर
Ciao, toca question. Ciao.
Yeah, so why don't we Madam
Thank you.
Moving a bit closer to each other.
We have to get closer to each other.
That's it, thank you.
See, we hold it like that, or we just... Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Excellency. Please, thank you, sir.